I'm mentalist Keith Barry. Normally I read minds through visual clues or by touch, but now I'm about to extract a thought from a police officer's mind through the transfer of an electric shock. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Bill, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm Keith.
Good to meet you.
What do you got there?
This is our department's X26 taser. When you discharge one of these, it's a 5-second cycle at 50,000 volts.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like you to show us exactly what happens. And I know we've got a target here.
Yes, we use these kind of targets for our training purposes. First, I'm going to ask you to put some glasses on
Yeah,
for me.
absolutely. Let's do it. Oh, that was pretty impressive. A full 50,000 volts, yeah?
Yes.
I'm wondering, through the use of your taser gun, can you transfer a thought from your mind into mine? Do you think it's possible?
No.
No? Okay. There is only one way to test this theory, and that's for you to tase me. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. I'm going to remove my vest and my shirt. In a moment, I'll look the other way. And when I do, you'll aim the gun at my back. When you aim the gun at my back, I want you to make your mind completely blank, and only when you pull that trigger, I want you to think of a word and mentally scream that word from your mind into mine. You're gonna tase me in the back, so I won't be able to read your body language, okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Have you any questions at all?
Nope.
When you're ready, go ahead and tase me.
I'm going to have 2 officers come in to assist you.
Okay, guys, can you come on in? Okay, when you're ready, only when you pull the trigger, think of a word and mentally scream it. Do it. Pad and pen. A word entered my mind. What word did you mentally scream to me the second you pulled that trigger?
Bicycle. Wow. Wow.
Bicycle. How many bullets do you think I've got inside my hand?
That is freaky.
Are you thinking of a gun?
Yes.
What if I told you that the 3 of you are actually a little bit psychic? I'm Keith Barry, and I'm a mentalist. I can implant thoughts, influence people, and hack into the brain. What if these powers were let loose on the world, revealing secrets of the human mind? This is deception. In the United States, a crime is committed every 2 seconds. That's 96 crimes just since this show started. These days, cops are fighting back with stronger weapons and some pretty high-tech gear. But still, they always seem a step behind the bad guys. Now, imagine what would happen if the police could get inside a criminal's mind for real. It might just level the playing field. I'm on my way to the Garden Grove Police Department to see what would happen if they had me on the force. Hey, Captain Hanfield, how are you?
Good.
Thanks a million for inviting me here today. So I know we're here at the back of your police department. Can you tell me a little bit about this area over here, please?
This is our Sallyport area. This is where we bring high-risk prisoners in. Gate opens up, car drives in, and then the gate closes, and then they take the prisoner out. They search them thoroughly, and then they're taken into the secured area.
I guess it's probably impossible for a police department to know for 100% whether a weapon has been sneaked in or not.
That's correct. There are times when they do get things in, they put things on their person where we can't find them, and they're searched inside, but we even have a cell inside that has etchings in it of people that brought things in that we missed.
It turns out police get attacked in the line of duty all the time. It happens more than 60,000 times a year. Now imagine if a cop could tell whether a suspect was armed just by looking at him. Okay, well, I'd like to try an exercise with some of your officers inside the Sallyport, so should we head inside?
Sure.
Great. So obviously, Captain, it would be a huge advantage for your officers to not only know whether a person's concealing a weapon, but more importantly, to know what that weapon is.
Yes.
What if I could tell you I can do that without actually frisking somebody?
I'd like to see that.
Yeah? Okay, I did ask you for 5 confiscated weapons here. Can you tell me a little bit about these?
Sure, this is like tear gas, it sprays, and it's often carried by criminals.
Great, and tell me, this is obviously a knife.
This is a knife. Sharp-edged weapons are deadly to police officers and citizens in general. This is a taser. We're seeing more and more people have access and carry them as criminals.
Right, and this is an extendable baton, isn't that right?
Yeah, we call it a collapsible baton. It is something that we seize quite regularly from criminals. It's compact, it can be extended out, and it packs a pretty good hit.
Right.
And this is, of course, a Glock handgun. With somebody that's accurate, they can hurt somebody or kill them.
Okay, now I do know you've got 5 police officers waiting first, so you can call them in, please?
Yes. Come on in, guys.
How's everyone doing today? Good? Good. Now, in a few moments, each one of you is going to represent a suspect in a lineup. I'll ask you one at a time to step forward and take a weapon. Any weapon that you want, that's your choice. And you'll hide it in the lower of your back, and then you'll step back up against the wall. Now, I don't want to see which weapon you're going to take, so Captain, I'm going to close my eyes and I want you to take your fingers and stick them into my eyeballs. Okay, I'll turn this way also, and I want you to look away also. I don't want you to see who's taking what weapon, okay? Number 1, step forward, take any weapon that you want, and place it in the lower of your back, please. And then step back up to the wall, and tell me when you're done.
Done.
Number 2, do the same.
Done.
Number 3,
Done.
number 4, take any one of the 2 remaining weapons.
Done.
Finally, number 5, take the remaining weapon.
Done.
Captain, have a look. Are all weapons cleared and off the table?
Yes.
Yes? Perfect. Now, this moment in time, do you have any clue who has what weapon?
No, I don't.
Now, I'm most interested in the gun, because obviously that's the most dangerous weapon. I want everybody now to take one step forward.
Detectives are trained to read body language mostly so they can spot deception. The biggest tells for lying are the facial twitch, covering one's mouth, or the nose scratch. Chicago scientists found that chemicals called catecholamines are released when people lie that cause blood vessels in the nose to swell. It's called the Pinocchio effect. Did you know President Clinton touched his nose 26 times during his grand jury testimony in the Paula Jones case? And then there's the eye shuttle. It may look shifty, but it's really a sign of fear or submission. The eyes are actually looking for possible escape routes.
Believe it or not, I think that gave me all the information I need to know. Now notice, first of all 4 of them have their hands clasped like this. You've got your hands like that. We'll start down with you, sir. Number 1. I believe this is a weapon that you're quite familiar with. As a matter of fact, I believe this weapon has been used on you in the past. Probably not by an actual perpetrator, but probably as part of your training. So I think you've got the pepper spray. If you've got the pepper spray, take it out, place it on the table.
Yes.
Fantastic. Step back to the wall. Good. All right, number 2. You're smiling at me. Good. And the reason you're smiling is because you're protecting your crown jewels right now, because you wouldn't like to get hit by a baton in the crown jewels. Are you holding the baton?
I am.
Okay, take it out, place it on the table, please. All right, step all the way back to the wall. Number 3. Now look at him, he's almost like a poker player, straight poker face. I think this is a weapon that you see every single day, but you don't think of it that way. You only think of it as something that you would eat your dinner with. So are you holding a knife?
I am.
Take it out and put it on the table, please. Good. Obviously, the 2 weapons we have left right now are the gun and the taser. And both of you regularly would carry a gun and a taser. However, I think you're far more confident right now. Your posture tells me that. Your hands are like this. Yours are down here and clasped over each other. Your chest is sticking out. You're a little bit more reserved. That means you feel very protected right now. And I think you've got the gun and you've got the taser. Take them out now.
You're right.
He does have the gun. He's got the taser. Thanks so much, guys. Wasn't it interesting that every single one of you, you all held your hands like this except you, because you were so confident, you were standing there, you knew you could reach back behind you and just take it out straight away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. I'll see you again later. Thank you all. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
I worked undercover for 5 years, so I was very shocked that he was able to pick which weapon each of us had.
To find someone that can do it the way he did it with such little movement, I really have no idea how Keith would do something like that.
I'm here at the Garden Grove Police Department to show them what a mentalist like me could do if given the chance to work in law enforcement.
Of all the positions here in the police department, the one I'm most fascinated by is the sketch artist. What they do every day is very similar to what I do. They decipher people's thoughts.
Forensic art can play a major role in nabbing criminals, but it's not an exact science. Eyewitnesses can be forgetful, and for good reason. When the brain experiences an extreme event, a memory is sealed in the unconscious so that the victim won't relive it. It's the brain's way of protecting us from stress. A sketch artist has to coax these memories out by any means. The best ones rely not only on the information, but also on the victim's emotional state.
Picking up on subtle, non-verbal clues during a victim's description. With that in mind, is it possible for me to implant the image of a person's face into an artist's mind using no words at all?
Let's go find out.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet me here today.
Thank you for having me.
This is forensic artist Melissa Cooper. She doesn't know it yet, but I'm about to use my own psychological tactics to influence what she draws.
So tell me, how many faces would you say you've drawn at this stage?
Hundreds, if not maybe in the thousands.
Wow.
I've done so many.
And I guess when you're talking to a victim, some of the obvious things that you would ask a victim would be if the person is male or female, right? And then maybe the color of their hair and also the length of their hair.
Yes.
And then if they had some outstanding facial features. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I would ask what would make them more identifiable rather than another suspect in
Right.
a lineup. So if there's anything specific, then that's what you want to hear.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you to do a sketch right now, if that's okay.
Okay.
Now, obviously, not of me, and it shouldn't be anybody that you know or recognize. We'll do this just from your mind. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes, though, while you do this. So I want you to take 20 or 30 minutes, and when you're finished, just let me know. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
What Melissa doesn't know is that my friend Rob is sitting in the interview room next door. He's the person that I'm hoping she'll eventually draw. Although I've influenced her to draw Rob, she is completely unaware of this.
Done.
Great. Okay, so Melissa, my eyes have been closed the whole time you've been drawing, correct?
Correct.
So if I could tell you some details about that drawing right now, how would that make you feel?
Pretty surprised, I suppose.
Right now, Melissa really believes I'm reading her mind.
I think you've drawn a male. Is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
Caucasian?
Correct.
Dark hair, probably brown?
Yes.
Long hair, parted in the middle?
Yeah.
A goatee?
Yes.
Also a mustache?
Yes.
And finally, I'm thinking probably a mole on his face.
Yeah.
Have a look. Wow, I'm actually impressed because Melissa, believe it or not, this is a good friend of mine.
What?
I knew you wouldn't believe me until I introduced you to him. We've been in front of this door the whole time, Melissa, correct?
Yeah.
Melissa,
What?
meet Rob.
Oh my god.
How you doing?
That is really creepy. Wow.
Pretty good match.
I don't know why my hands are doing that. They're just shaking. I mean, he started describing the features, like even like the most minute ones that I just drew, and that was already a shock. And then all of a sudden, like this random person that is on my paper pops up. Like I don't know. That's just it's really creepy. It's creepy. I don't know the secret.
How was Melissa able to know the person I was visualizing? Before we started the experiment, I subliminally triggered her using subtle visual clues.
If the person is male or female, right?
By giving a thumbs up with the same hand I gestured to represent male, I gave her the cue to draw a man. Stroking my chin subliminally told her I had a goatee in mind. Pointing at my face directed her to think of a mole or a freckle. I also gestured with my hands to indicate the length of his hair. Every action implanted a thought for her to pick up on subconsciously. Little did she know that she was sketching my friend Rob, who was sitting alone next door the whole time. Truth be told, sketch artists do this every day without even knowing it.
Hi, how are you? Can I interrupt you for a second there?
Sure. How
Hope you're not too busy. My name's Keith. Can I try a little experiment with you?
Sure.
I'll need to get you to stand for a second, if that's okay. Now, I have a quick question for you. How many codes, including penal codes and radio codes, would you say there are? Are there hundreds or are there thousands?
Thousands.
Okay, thousands. And it is probably quite difficult to remember them all, correct?
Oh, sure.
Here's what I'd like you to do. In your mind, I want you to imagine right now that you're getting a call to a code. So I want you to think of a code, but an unusual code. Okay, something that you wouldn't normally think about. Can you do that for me?
Sure.
Okay, and I want you to imagine right now that you're being called to that incident. Imagine that code going through your brain right now and what you would feel like. Look at me. Okay, really imagine it. Okay, there's a real sense of danger here, but just not one person. Is there a lot of people involved in this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I'm seeing something flying and coming down and hitting the ground with serious impact.
Yes.
Is it a plane crash?
Yes.
Okay, good. I want you to think of the code for that plane crash, and you'll be happy that there's no way I could know off the top of my head all these codes unless I'd actually memorize them. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. What's the code?
903. Wow. That's amazing.
I'm Keith Barry. I'm taking my skills to the Garden Grove Police Department to see if using my powers as a mentalist can assist them in fighting crime. Today, I'm working with their SWAT team unit. People sometimes don't realize the mental challenges of working on a SWAT team. In fact, police snipers are some of the most mentally tough members of the force. Snipers must have exceptional body flexibility in order to adapt to their surroundings and remain stationary for hours on end. They work in pairs and communicate with hand signals. Snipers are trained to stabilize their body and their shot by inhaling 3 times, then exhaling once. This gives maximum mental focus and body control. But what about the mental decisions that take place just before the bullet is fired? Snipers are trained to be able to make instantaneous decisions in high-pressure situations, and these decisions become second nature to them. They don't even have to think about it. And that's an interesting challenge for a mentalist.
I'm here at a SWAT team firing range where I'm about to predict where 3 bullets will land on a target just like this one before they even leave the barrel. To do that, I need to influence the shooter. Hey, Officer Goodday, how are you?
Good, Keith. How you doing?
Fantastic, thank you. I have a question for you. How long have you been a member of the SWAT team down here?
Coming up on about 4 years.
All right, so you've done probably a lot of shooting over that 4 years, correct?
A lot of shooting.
When you're aiming at a target, such as the targets that we have today, is there a specific area that you normally would aim for?
Depending on the situation, yes. Usually we'd aim for center mass. If somebody's wearing body armor or something like that, we'd probably aim for the head.
All right, what I'd like you to do in a moment, I want you to unload into the target.
Okay.
Okay? Aim all of them at the center of mass, if that's okay.
Okay.
And you will notice that there's a blue piece of paper hanging over the target.
Okay.
That's there now, and I'll tell you more about that in just a minute. Are you ready to start shooting?
Absolutely.
Great. That's some pretty accurate shooting, suffice to say. You hit nearly every single round in the center of mass. So that was a test of your accuracy, and you're pretty much 100% there. This is going to be a test of my accuracy, okay? This time, I want you to just shoot 3 rounds, anywhere you want, and there's pretty much thousands of places you could land a bullet on that target, correct?
Sure.
Away you go.
Okay.
So that would be a headshot, I guess, yes?
Correct?
Right shoulder and chest.
Correct.
Yeah? Now, do you think they were your decisions?
Yeah,
What if I told you they weren't your decisions? They were my decisions.
I would have to see some evidence of that.
Well, that blue piece of paper has been there since before we began, correct?
Yes.
Have a look and see just how accurate I was. What does it say?
It's unbelievable. Well, I shot him exactly this order. Headshot, right shoulder, chest.
You may wonder how I was able to know where Officer Gilday would fire the bullets. Watch carefully. Before I asked him to fire at the center of the target, I used subtle gestures to implant those decisions into his subconscious.
So now I have a question for you. Were they your decisions or were they mine?
Apparently they were yours. That's unbelievable.
What would happen if a police officer, like a mentalist, could hack into the mind and get inside the brain of a criminal? Recently, police departments have begun to use computers to predict behavior, much in the same way I use my powers of mentalism. It's called predictive policing, and it's a growing trend. The software crunches crime stats for big areas and recommends when and where cops should beef up patrols. Using predictive policing on New Year's Eve, the LAPD once reduced random gunfire incidents by 45%. It works by tracking the behavior of large groups of people and finding patterns in whole populations. Now I'm going to see if I can use my skills to predict the behaviors of a single individual.
Excuse me, can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Keith. What's your name?
Kevin.
Is it okay if I try a quick demonstration with you in a moment?
Sure.
Okay, do you have some bullets on you that I can use for
Yes,
this
I do.
demonstration? Are they in your gun or do you have a...
I've got extra ones on my belt.
Okay, can you take those out for me, please? And maybe stand up if you
Okay.
will. Now, how many bullets are in this?
13.
13, and is that standard for this particular
For this type of weapon, yes.
And what type of weapon is that?
It's a Glock 45.
A Glock 45. So can you empty that out, take out all of the bullets? Actually, 10 will probably do, if you take out 10 bullets.
Okay.
Now, I have a quick question for you. Do you have an empty front pants pocket that we can use?
Yes.
Okay, can you pop those into one of your pockets, whichever one is empty? Put all of the bullets in. So I want you to reach inside and grab a number of bullets, okay? Take your time.
Okay.
Okay, and when you're done, take them out and hold them in your closed fist for me. Okay, you've got a number of bullets in your hand?
Yes.
Okay, is there any way right now, be honest, be 100% honest, is there any way I could know what number of bullets are inside your hand?
No.
There's no way, right?
No way.
Okay, look at me. Just focus on how many bullets are inside your hand. I was gonna go with 6 initially, but not 6, I think 7. Open up your hand, how many bullets are in your hand? Let's count them out, I'll count them out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's try that again, is that okay? Okay, take them, put them back inside your pocket. Okay, this time grab a different number, okay?
Okay.
Take your time, and it's important you know how many are inside your hand. Okay?
All right.
All right, here's the idea. Just name the numbers 1 to 10 out loud. Just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I can stop you right there. Have you got... Is it 8?
It's 8.
Can I grab the other 2 bullets, if that's okay? Because we're going to reverse the situation
All right.
right now. I'm going to take all 10 bullets. I'll place them behind my back.
Okay.
Make it easier. Okay, I'm going to grab a number of bullets. Let me see. I want you to go with your gut instinct. How many bullets do you think I've got inside my hand right now?
None.
Really? So you think I tried to trick you?
Yeah.
Really? Absolutely. Correct.
All right, that's freaky. That is freaky.
When police hit a dead end in investigating a murder case, they occasionally turn to psychics for answers. 16% of police departments acknowledge working with psychics, but some psychics are merely con artists who use a series of tricks to convince distraught families and frustrated officers that their information is real. One trick they use is known as hot reading, in which they give police tips based on covert research they have done on the internet about the family. This makes them appear to know things no one believes they could have known. So why is there such a strong urge to believe? I don't have psychic powers, but I do have years of experience reading people and implanting thoughts.
Hi, how are you?
How are you, sir?
Can I borrow you for a second? Is that okay? I'm Keith. What's your name?
I'm Joni.
Joni, can you come over here for 2 seconds?
Okay.
And if you wouldn't mind just standing right there, that'd be great. Can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
Can I borrow you out here for just a few moments?
Definitely.
If you come with me, if you actually face that way, that'd be fantastic. If you'd like to stand there, and if you could come around here, please. Hi. Now, I've never met you before, correct?
Yes, right.
All right. Now, we're here in your records bureau. How many files would you say are behind me here?
Oh, that's a good question.
A couple of thousand?
Well,
More than that.
100,000.
So about 100,000.
Got about 5 years here.
Wow. Okay. So a huge amount of files.
Huge.
Now, in a moment, I'm going to get the three of you to create an imaginary crime just in your mind. Okay. We're going to provide a date for this, a weapon, and also a time for this imaginary crime. Okay. Now I'll start with you. In a moment, I want you to think of a date, but not yet. Just look at me. There's obviously January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. In your mind, think of a date now. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Good. Okay, and here's what I'd like you to do. There's 1,440 different minutes in a day. I want you to just think of a time now, okay? And finally, I want you to think about a weapon associated with this imaginary crime. Have you got a weapon in mind?
I do.
Okay, good. All right, now look at me. Focus on this date. I was going to go with April, but it's not April. Are you thinking of May?
I am.
You really are thinking of May?
Yeah.
Okay, don't tell me the exact date, but you have an exact date in mind, yes? Okay, May, think of your time and say the numbers 1 to 12 out loud.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I don't know if you noticed, but your eyebrows actually popped up a little bit between 9 and 10. So is this between 9 and 10 p.m.?
Yes.
Somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. Is it really? Yes? Okay, good. Okay, and I want you to think of this weapon, whatever the weapon is. Look at me. It's not a baton. Are you thinking of a gun?
Yes.
But a specific type of gun, yes?
Yes.
Okay, tell me for the first time, what's the exact date that you're thinking of?
May 4th,
May
2000.
Sorry, get what?
2001.
Oh, you thought of it a year as well. So May 4th, 2001. And what time are you thinking of?
9:40.
9:40 p.m. And finally, what exact weapon do you have in mind?
A Walther, and the model would be P38.
Walther P38. Now, did it kind of feel like I was psychic for a second there?
Sort of.
A little bit? What if I told you that the three of you are actually a little bit psychic? This file has been sitting here the whole time. Did you notice the file sitting there?
Sort of, yeah.
You did? But
Yeah.
have you ever touched this file? Do you know what's inside this file?
No.
You really don't know what's inside there?
No.
What if I told you the crime that you came up with is not an imaginary crime? It's a real crime that actually happened.
Here in the city?
Well, let me show you, look. I'll read it out loud. On or about May 4th, 2001, at approximately 9:40 p.m., in the state of California, the felony crime of murder was committed against Bonnie Lee Bakley. Now, this might ring some bells because it was a famous crime. Robert Blake was her husband.
Oh, yeah.
It is further alleged that said victim, Bonnie Lee Bakley, was killed by the discharging of a firearm, a Walther P38, which approximately caused great bodily injury and death. So as a matter of fact, you're more psychic than you thought.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
It's dated April 2002.
Thank you.
In the US, a car is stolen every 26 seconds, and only about half of those are returned to their owners. Cops pretty much have to catch a suspect red-handed or get them to fess up. But what if you could solve a car theft without getting the actual confession? It's possible if you know what you're doing.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm Keith. What's your
Jason.
name?
Nice to meet you.
Nilo.
And Nilo. Nilo, I think it was you that answered my ad, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, in my ad I asked for an ex-car thief and to bring a good friend of yours along. And other than that, all I asked for is somebody to take part in a social experiment. And do you know anything else besides that?
No.
No? Okay, great. Now, as somebody who's kind of a past history with stealing cars, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, not really proud of it, but In my youth, I started off just joyriding cars, and that led into taking them for profit. But eventually, that caught up with me, and I rebounded, and I turned that into something profitable and something legitimate, which was a store that provided anti-theft devices for prevention of that type of thing.
Right, well, tonight, you're going to get the chance to do one last heist, but without any consequences. All right? How's that feel? It makes you feel good, right? Here's the idea. In a few moments, I'll give you the keys to my car. And you'll hide this car anywhere you want it in Garden Grove. As a matter of fact, the second I give you these keys, this will become your car. You'll hide it anywhere you want, and then you'll come back here, where I'll interrogate both of you. If I can't figure out where the car is within an hour, you get to keep the car. It's as simple as that. Now, you will not be followed, but your job will be to look out for anybody.
You're looking everywhere.
Okay? I do want to show you the cameras inside the car, so come around and take a look. We have cameras inside the car to capture your conversation. They do not transmit anywhere, okay? However, there are buttons on both of the screens there. You can turn the cameras off and on as you like, okay?
Sure.
Any questions?
Nope, I think it's pretty straightforward.
There's the keys to the car. Examine it. Away you go. Have a look. Make sure there's no tracking devices.
I don't think there's anything there.
No, I don't think so either.
Happy with the car?
You bet.
You ready?
Yep.
Away you go.
Thank you. Okay, dude, let's hide this thing.
Although the car is rigged with cameras, it has no tracking device or people following it. Now that they're gone, my only chance of getting my car back is by using my special skills as an interrogator. That is, if they even come back.
Hi, detectives. Hi, Captain.
Hello.
How are you all tonight?
Great, thank you.
First of all, thanks for letting me use your old impound warehouse. I know a lot of cars were stored here over the years. Okay, this is a map of Garden Grove, and right now, the guys are hiding the car somewhere in this region. Have you any idea where these two guys are hiding the car?
None whatsoever.
Okay, so I think you'll be interested in some of the techniques I'm about to use here during the interrogation.
Getting someone to confess to a crime is not as easy as it may look on television. It's a highly choreographed dance of psychological manipulation. Some techniques like isolation and sleep deprivation are obvious. Mine are less so.
I want you to watch every single thing that I do to these guys. This is for you, Captain. I'm using some subtle techniques that you may not have seen before, and I've learned these techniques over the past 20 years or so as a mentalist. And I'm going to extract the information, both verbally and non-verbally, from these guys.
Right now, they should be hiding the car somewhere, so we'll wait here in the warehouse until they come back.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Yeah, good. All right, first of all, thanks for coming back. I appreciate the fact that you did come back.
We were thinking about that.
I thought you might think about it. These are two detectives from the Garden Grove Police Department, and they're going to help me to attempt to find your car. Okay, in other words, I'll be on walkie-talkie with them. They're going to go out in their car, and I'll give them instructions as to where to go. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, I better give you the keys, so you take the keys, and away you go. Await my instruction. Thank you. All right, now, this is important. I'll ask you questions. You can lie or tell the truth, but you must answer the questions. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
As you're about to see, a mentalist like me can get the information he needs from both truth and lies.
Take a seat there. You take a seat over here. And let's begin the experiment.
The first goal here is to throw Nilo and Jason off kilter. If they're under stress, they'll likely give away more with their body language.
So Nilo, did you go north or south when you left here?
I went south.
Nilo, did you go north or south?
South.
North or south?
South.
North or south?
North.
North or south? Now for my second tactic. If you notice, I've placed mirrors above the suspects' heads. While I'm interrogating one suspect, I'm actually gauging the reaction of the accomplice in the mirror. North or south, answer me!
North.
See? Give it away right there. Give it away right there. This is our starting location. This is where we are right now. I believe they went north. So north of Garden Boulevard somewhere. So you went north. Did you go west or did you go east when you went north?
West.
West. Let's smile there. Let's smile. Jason. West or east?
I can't remember. I think it was bad with directions. I'd say east.
You should go east or west. Tell me now.
East.
East or west?
East.
East or west?
East.
East or west?
East.
You went east. So I think somewhere in this quadrant here, somewhere here. Officers, copy?
We copy, Keith.
All right, I want you to head north. I want you to go east on Garden Grove. Copy that?
Copy.
Jason, come up here for a sec. So I've got 4 quarters now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Car's in there somewhere, isn't it?
No, it's not.
My next goal is to exploit Jason's autonomic nervous system. This is an internal subconscious system that regulates our blood flow and our breathing. When put under stress, there can be minute, uncontrollable changes in the person's pulse rate. If I can detect these changes in the person's system while they're looking at the map, it will give me an indication as to where they've hidden the car. Okay. You see, every thought transfers into a physical reaction. Put out your finger like this. Good. Focus on whether it's in this quarter, this quarter, this quarter, or this quarter. Just loosen up your hand, keep your finger out. Is the car in this quadrant here, Jason? Is it here? Answer only in your mind. Is it here? Is it there? Is it here? Is it here? Is it... Your pulse is going real fast. Can you feel that? Your heart rate's going up. It's giving me all the information I need to know. Sit down. Car is definitely not in this area here. It's definitely not here either. So it's not there, and it's not over here. Good. So it's somewhere in this quadrant here. All right, Nilo. Where did you park it?
I parked it in a parking lot.
All right, Jason.
Yes.
Let's get this over and done with. Where'd you hide it? Quick.
Hotel.
I think he's telling the truth. Guys, I want you to go eastbound on Chapman, and let me know as you go along if there's any hotels along the way.
I'll check left if you want to check right.
Okay, Keith, we have
The Crown Plaza.
the Hyatt and the Embassy Suite.
Can you hear me okay? Go to the Hyatt.
we copy headed that way. This is gonna be the fun stuff.
You check left, I'll check right.
That's it. Clear out back in the next few minutes. Car's yours. Clear out back in the next few minutes. Car's yours.
I've had a 1 hour deadline to discover where these two men have hidden my car and for the police to find it and return it. If they find it, they've got to get it back to this warehouse within the hour in order for me to keep the car. I've directed 2 detectives from the Garden Grove Police Department to a spot where I believe the car is hidden.
You've obviously done a good job at hiding it.
That's it.
Maybe you'll go home winners. We'll see.
Man, I am totally astonished right now. I have no idea what Keith was able to do and how he was able to do it. But the mere fact that he was able to find this car, direct us on how to get there in such a big city is just amazing to me right now.
There's a minute and a half left to go. If I don't find this car, I'm going to need a ride home.
No way. I don't think so. That's not good. No, that's not the car. Oh, no, what the hell? How did he, what the?
Jason, the experiment is over. I guess so. You guys, a few beers. The experiment is over.
In the end, by watching Neilo and Jason's reactions and body language,
North or south?
measuring their motor response, and using my own mentalist skills,
Put out your finger like this. Good.
I was successful in getting my car back.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.
What the hell happened there? I thought for sure that car was ours because we tucked that car into the middle of nowhere in a parking lot full of cars, and Keith methodically pinpointed a spot. I don't think the police would be able to do that in weeks.
Good job, guys. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. I gotta get my baby and get out of here. Woo!
An hour to find a stolen car in Garden Grove with the amount of time and the limited information that he had. I don't think I could do it, so hats off to Keith.
That is crazy.